Equibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Hours 16 right across the Eastern Caribbean. I do apologize for the late start for your main newscast. This is your main newscast for today, Tuesday, January 24th, 2023. Let's get to the news in details. We begin on a sad note. The body of a 47-year-old Nazlim Mohammed, a housewife of Belfield Squatting Area, East Coast, Demerara, was on Monday found floating in a canal with several wounds about her abdomen. According to the Guyana Police Force, the suspect is a male and had previously shared a relationship with her. The police reported that the woman's body was discovered around 15 hours in a canal at Hope Lowlands, East Coast, Demerara. Kaieteur Radio understands that the woman was living in Belfield Squatting Area with her daughter and reputed husband, who was presently at sea on a fishing boat. She was last seen alive around 7 hours on Monday by a neighbor while she was leaving her home and heading to her brother's residence at Hope Lowlands, East Coast, Demerara. We tell you now that a grave blunder occurred at Trinidad and Tobago's Energy Conference on Monday, where a map of Guyana produced by Rystad Energy was used as part of a panel discussion. The map depicted a portion of the Stabroek block overlapping into Venezuela territorial water. The panel discussion centered on the role the Southern Caribbean can play in meeting the global demand for natural gas. Wazim Mowala, Assistant Director of the Caribbean Initiative Atlantic Council, Ronald Adams, Chief Executive Officer Atlantic, Mark Logan, Head of the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago, and Tero Alberto, Managing Director of the Gas Latin America, and Brian, Managing Director of Dev Novo Energy, led the conversation. It was moderated by Dr. Trehak Driver, President and CEO of the Energy Chamber. The Kaieteur News team, which included publisher Glenn Lau, observed that a portion of the block was overlapping in Venezuela's maritime borders. Efforts were made to bring this to the attention of the panel during the discussion, but to no avail. Lau said it is important that this matter be raised within the organization, as more than 700 individuals were being misled. More importantly, he noted that Guyana and Venezuela are before the International Court of Justice, where they have laid out a case on the parameters of the territorial sovereignty. He said the map being shown or featured in the backdrop of the discussion about Trinidad's eagerness to harness Venezuela gas resources is quote-unquote distasteful, to say the least. Get the full details in today's Kaieteur News. We tell you now that Canadian oil company CGX Energy Inc. and its affiliate Frontiera Energy Corporation on Monday announced that the joint venture has spotted the Wee-1 well in the Quarantine block, but future drilling at that offshore location will only be announced if positive results are recorded from the operation. The Wee-1 well is located approximately 200 kilometers offshore Guyana. In a statement, the joint venture explained that the government has approved the plan for the northern section of the Quarantine block, which will commence with the Wee-1 well. Following completion of such drilling operations and upon detailed analysis of the results, the joint venture may consider future or further wells per its appraisal program to evaluate possible development, feasibility in the Kau-1 discovery area and throughout the northern section of the Quarantine block. This is Kaieteur 99.1 and 99.5 FM. We will return with more news after the break. Stay with us.
It seems like children have been home from school forever, and you've done baking, drawing, schoolwork, and played Ring of Roses about 100 times. We've all been under some strain lately, but let us embrace our children. They're under strain too. Let's show them more love, patience, and care. Let's help to build their resilience in these trying times. Not just today or tomorrow, but for the future. Their future. A message from the Child Care and Protection Agency, Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, and UNICEF.
This is GHK Lal inviting you to join me weekdays from Monday to Friday on the National Outlook for commentary on a range of issues. Immediately after the 12 noon and 7 p.m. newscasts on Kaieteur Radio at 99.1 FM and 99.5 FM. Looking forward to you sharing in the conversation.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Shadow Foreign Affairs Minister Manzo Walton Nazir on Monday described the allocation of Budget 2023 as catering more to the business sector rather than responding effectively to the cost of living and development's needs of citizens. The Shadow Foreign Affairs Minister during her budget presentation slammed the government for having the financial ability to bring relief to citizens while lacking the willingness to do so. The Member of Parliament said that the budget gives an idea on how the government values people as it has nothing for the poor and working class in comparison to what is being done for big businesses. In other news, as Trinidad and Tobago enters new negotiation with oil companies seeking to start up operations in the Twin Island Republic, Minister of Energy and Energy Industries Stuart Young has put them on notice that the country will accept nothing less than quote-unquote the best deals. The minister signaled this position at Trinidad and Tobago's Energy Conference that opened on Monday at the Hyatt Regency in Port of Spain, Trinidad. This year, the conference is being held under the theme, Navigating a Complex Energy Mix. Trinidad and Tobago earlier this month announced that 16 bids were received during the public auction for exploring and developing oil and natural gas at 8 onshore blocks. Trinidad has made it clear last year that it is prepared to reject bids from two of the country's major oil and gas producers as they have failed to meet the country's minimum requirement for accessing its offshore oil blocks. Get the full details in today's Kaieteur News. In budget, the 2023 budget debates kicked off yesterday with First Government Minister Joseph Hamilton providing some statistics on how Guyana is faring as it seeks to build capacity required for the growing Guyanese economy. Hamilton told the Guyana Parliament that the People's Progressive Party's civic government is now playing quote-unquote catch-up with the oil sector as the former Partnership for National Unity Alliance for Change coalition government failed to prepare the country to serve the oil economy. To prove his point, Hamilton reported that the average amount of persons trained under the last government via the Board of Industrial Training was between 1,300 to 1,500 persons, and nowhere within that number was an attempt made to include hinterland and riverine areas. The minister said that the PPP government came into office in August of 2020, and by the end of that year, they would have trained 2,000 persons. The minister continued that in 2021, the government trained 3,000 persons, and in 2022, 4,500 persons. He communicated that between 2020 to now, the government trained 7,500 persons under the Board of Industrial Training, and the 2023 budget provides for the government to train an additional 7,000 persons. And finally, at this time, two women on Sunday drowned during a family outing at Feather Beach, Region 2, Essequibo Coast. Dead are Rakisha Trilal and Kewati Lalabachan. The incident, which claimed the lives of a 26-year-old and a 25-year-old, a mother of three, both of the Essequibo Coast, occurred around 16 hours 40, police said. Police said at about 14 hours 30 the day, she along with two women and other family members went to Feather Beach. She recalled that they were all in the water bathing and dancing when suddenly the water pulled them out as she grabbed onto some grass and pulled herself in along with one of the family members, Akisha Trilal, who held onto her foot. And we will return with the page 7 of the Kaieteur News dedicated to being blunt immediately after this break. Today's blunt is titled Debt Going Up, Guineas Going Down. Debt is growing by 16%. Guineas going down daily with more and more given up. It's borrow and spend by the PPP government. This way, the cronies and cabals can enrich themselves some more. PPP rogues and rascals collecting lavishly with projects. Guyanese taxpayers bending backs to pay millions more in debt. This is not clean governance. This is criminal convenience. And with that, we've come to the end of your main newscast for today, Tuesday, January 24th, 2023. For these stories and much more, pick up a copy of the Kaieteur News at the newsstand near you, or head across our website at www.kaieteurnewsonline.com. I'm Joshua Van Slyckman on behalf of the news and technical team. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's Newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us